you a cyclist? And when I say cyclist, I mean someone who races, who takes spinning classes, who mountain bikes, anyone consistently on a bike. If that's you, well then this video is for you. I'm Gretchen, your virtual Pilates instructor, as well as founder of Balance to the Core. It's my mission to make your everyday movement more effective, more efficient, more convenient, and more fun so that you do it more often. I want your everyday movement to be your fitness program. So in today's video, I give you my top 5 Pilates exercises to help build more stamina, strength, endurance, speed, and prevent injury while on the bike. And if you like this video, I'd like you to do 2 things. 1, subscribe to this channel so you never miss a video. I'm here every Wednesday. And 2, stick around to the end where I give you a way to download a free printable of this workout. It's also attached to a blog post where you can learn more about cycling and Pilates. All right, so let's get started. The roll-up is our first exercise. The roll-up is so great for everybody, but in terms of cycling, let's talk about the benefits. So you're articulating the spine, so you're creating flexibility in the spine, which allows more comfort on the bike because your torso is going to be much more flexible. You're also going to create endurance in the shoulders, which allows you to stay upright on the bike longer, because the longer that you can stay in alignment on the bike, the more speed and power and stamina you'll have, okay? You're also going to create some flexibility in the hamstrings and the hips, which we need in general, everybody, but especially cyclists, because you're tending to be in that flexed position a lot, so the hamstrings don't get a lot of length. So we want to stretch those out. So squeeze your thighs together, reach your arms up towards the ceiling. You want to pull your shoulders down, and when you pull your shoulders down, push them into the mat, as well as these muscles here. I want you to pull them down into your waistline. So everything's pulling downward as your ribs are pulling inward. Stretch your arms back behind you and keep that pulling down. Don't let anything lift off the mat or else you've lost the whole intention of the exercise. We really want to start with good form. So shoulders down, ribs down, as well as your pelvis is down, okay? So we're going to start to lift the head, neck, and shoulders on an inhale. And as you do this, you don't want to yank forward with those shoulders. We're trying to create endurance here. Pull those shoulders down. Teach your body how to be in correct alignment. And then on your exhale, you're going to come forward. But as you come forward, you're not going to let anything pooch up. You're going to pull it all inward towards your spine. So you come inward, you're pulling your ribs back, you're pulling your belly back. You're going to hit those butt bones, and you're going to stay right there. Flex your feet and stretch forward. And this is for your spinal stretch as well as your hamstring stretch. In this position, you don't want to yank those shoulders towards your ears. Let's get some good habits here. Pull your shoulders back. Pull your belly back and try to stretch the top of your head towards your toes. Now we're going to start to roll back. As you roll back, try not to yank on those shoulders. Keep pulling them back. And then feel your tailbone sort of pushing forward. It also follows the line of the heels. So the heels push forward. And then we start to articulate down through each vertebrae. Start to exhale as it gets more challenging and have your breath help you stay in control. Try that again. Inhale, lift the arms, start to lift the chest. Exhale, roll through that spine. Use your exhale to control and give you power. Stay right here and ground your pelvis and try to stretch deeper with the spine and not the shoulders. Start to roll back. Push the heels forward, push the tailbone forward. Pull the belly into the spine. Pull the ribs into the spine. Start to exhale it down through that hard part. All right, so that's your roll up, and you're going to do 10 of them, okay? The next exercise that we're going to do is called the breaststroke, okay? So this is really good to build upper body strength while opening the chest, because very often cyclists are flexed forward, rounded forward. So the chest ends up being really tight, and what that does is it doesn't allow an efficiency of breath. So we want to work that respiratory system, and we really want to open the ribs to allow more breath power, because when you have more breath power, you have more stamina, endurance, speed, power, the whole gamut, okay? So let's do this here. Get your spine neutral, get your pelvis neutral. Pull your shoulders back into their pockets. Now, if you don't understand anything that I'm saying, you can always check out my beginner mat Pilates series. So just check on that little eye right there in the corner of this video, and it will take you right to the series, okay? So hover your nose above the mat. Draw your belly in, get your pelvis neutral, and pull your shoulders down. So you're always thinking the same turns. Shoulders down, ribs in, pelvis neutral. Keep your legs long, about hip bone distant, okay? Now what you're gonna do is as you pull your shoulders down, start to inhale. You're gonna lift the forehead, the nose, the chin, and the chest. Now I want you to try to stay right there and let the arms elevate as well. And then lower it on down. Okay, so let's inhale to that position. Like you're following, almost like an imaginary ant. Forehead, nose, chin, chest, and then that ant sort of goes up the wall a little bit and stay right there. On your exhale, you're going to reach the arms forward and you're going to hover the chest and head off the floor. And then on your inhale, pull the shoulders back into place, lift the forehead, nose, chin, chest. Feel as if you're pushing your heart through your ribs. Open that collarbone. Reach on an exhale. Inhale, squeeze the mid-back muscles and lift. Really think about reaching your spine long. Your legs stay grounded. And you lift the chest as the feet stay down. And then lower it on down. Do about 10 of those. And then just push yourself back to stretch out the back and release it. The next exercise is moving plank. Now this isn't a traditional Pilates exercise, but it's so good for cyclists because we really want to focus on that upper body strength while keeping the rest of the body in alignment. We're also working against gravity, so you're really building up that core strength as well as your breath power. So it involves all the principles of Pilates that are going to help push you forward into your cycling. All right, so get your elbows so they're directly underneath your shoulders. So this line of shoulder over elbow. And then your forearm is going to be straight with your palm down. And you're going to do that on either side so they're parallel with one another. Push your palms into the ground. Push your elbows into the ground. And anytime you're in any position, your belly is always pulled up into your spine. You never want to hang out because you're going to cause some strain in that back. So get used to really feeling your belly always pulling up into your spine. Your ribs pulling up into your spine. Now tuck your toes under and lift up into a plank position where you're hovering your pelvis off the mat. And you are nice and neutral here. Keep drawing your ribs into your spine. That's super important. Feel as if you're pulling the mat apart with your elbows as well as towards you a little bit so you can open the chest. Keep creating more distance between your chest and the floor. And all you're going to do is lift your hips up and push your body back a little bit. All right? The shoulders have not elevated to your ears. Keep your shoulders down. And then push your heels down as you lift your hips up. And then all you're going to do is shift your body forward. Your heels will lift. And you're going to come right to that position of shoulders over elbows. Again, lift from the belly and the hips as you push up. Push the heels down as you stretch the hips up. And then lift those hips up and come back to that neutral plank. And do about 10 of those. Make sure you're breathing, and then you can always push yourself back into a shell stretch afterwards if you want a little release. The next exercise is called the saw. Your legs are wider than your hips, about the distance of your mat, and all 10 toes are flexed to your chest. Your pelvis is now vertical, so you're not backwards, you're not forward. You really want to try to keep everything nice and upright. And try to lift your spine as tall as you can. You want your shoulders right over your hips with a neutral back. The more that you do Pilates, the easier it will be to stay upright. But if you're having a real struggle right now, bend your knees so you can release that spine. You want to be able to hold yourself upright pretty easily. You don't want to strain yourself because if you're starting in strain, you're never going to get the benefit of the exercise, okay? So modification is super important in Pilates. It's not a weakness. It means you're standing up for yourself. You're listening to what your body needs. So be sure to modify. Either bend the knees or you can lift yourself up on a pillow. Anything that sort of releases your low back and allows you to stand up or sit up a little bit taller, okay? Take your arms out to the sides. Now we want to add some spinal twisting to our spine. So we're going to flex the feet because we're trying to create flexibility in our spine to allow your seat comfort to be a little bit more comfortable for a longer period of time. So you're going to twist, you're going to stay upright, and then you're going to take your pinky finger and head over to your pinky toe as your back pinky lifts up. Pull both shoulders down and try to stretch towards your pinky toe with 3 pulses. 1, 2, 3. And do that without letting your opposite butt bone lift. You're gonna roll back up, and then you're gonna turn it to center, and you're gonna go the other way. You're gonna twist the chest and ribs so the hips don't move. And then you're gonna stretch your pinky finger to your pinky toe, back pinky finger lifts. Shoulders pull down, and you're stretching towards that pinky toe without letting your opposite hip or butt bone lift. 1, saw it off. 2, saw it off. 3, and come on up. Stay tall. Inhale as you rotate. Exhale as you stretch it. 1, 2, 3. Roll it back up. Return to center. And inhale. Exhale as you dive it. 1, keep your shoulders down. 2, keep the opposite hip bone down. 3, roll it up, return to center, and release it. And you could do about 5 on each side. Now the final exercise is called the Mermaid. And just in the starting position is a lot of work, but this is the reason why I chose this exercise, because you're in this constant repetitive motion, right? And you're flexing the hips, and they're staying in parallel. It can create a lot of tightness in those hips. So it's important to really open the hips and create some flexibility in them so that you get more power, because the more flexible you are, the more power you have. The tighter you have, it's sort of like the easier you're gonna burn out. All right, so I really want you to keep your butt bones both down. And if you have trouble doing this, I want you to elevate yourself on some pillows or some pads or something. And you'll find the higher your hips are lifted, the easier it's gonna be in this position. So nice and tall, you're gonna reach your arm by your ear. You're gonna really lift up out of the waist, and then you're gonna stretch forward or over. And as you go over, you're thinking of reaching your spine all the way to the opposite wall. Again, you're keeping that shoulder down, right? You're using these muscles here to pull that shoulder down. As you stretch to the side, I want you to pull that opposite sit bone down. Really stretch. You're inhaling here as you fill your body with air. On your exhale, use these abdominals to pull yourself back up to vertical. Go ahead and grab this leg for a little leverage here as you stretch the other way. You're gonna feel a lot tighter here, okay? Keep the arm by the ear. Keep your head centered between your shoulders and really stretch it to the opposite wall. We're opening up the ribs here. Go the other way. We'll do one more each side. So we're trying to create more thoracic flexibility, which allows your lungs to expand more, creating more respiratory exchange, more breath exchange. Gives you a lot more power. This also creates a lot of flexibility in the spine, which we always want to do, especially to keep your body more flexible so that it can stay upright a longer period of time. And then come back to center. Good. So there you have it. Those are your 5 exercises. So if you do these 5 exercises on a regular basis, you're going to see yourself develop more internal strength. You're going to develop more flexibility, and you'll see that the power of your breath is going to allow you to go on longer rides. You're going to feel more powerful. You're going to have more endurance, and you're going to build the itty bitty muscles that are attached to the bones, and those little muscles will help those bigger muscles develop faster and actually be a lot stronger, and that's what helps prevent injury. So if you like this video, again, please subscribe to this channel. Please like this video if you liked it. And if you want to download that printable of this workout, go ahead and look in the description here, and I'll give you the link on how to go to my blog post where you can download the printable right there. So thanks so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you next week. Take care.